All right, everyone, settle in, settle down. Get yourself landed in your body. Feel where your body meets your support, whether it's your blanket, your block, or directly on your mat. And this is a practice on gathering strength as we move into any transition in our life. Transitions from here or there, from one season to the next, from one activity to the next, from where you were before you came to this practice until right now. And then during the practice on the sticky mat, there is a series of transitions. There's places where we move from one pose to another. And as we use the ability to gather our strength before we move. So this is a class on muscular energy in the Anusara language, and we'll see how it goes. So let yourself settle in. And I invite you to close your eyes and become aware of closing your eyes from the top to the bottom. That's how it happens by itself, but drop into the process of it. And this is going to create more of an awareness for you of a particular energy called the Panavayu. A Panavayu is the downward manifesting current that brings all things into material expression. And so we want to learn how to get grounded. And in the grounding energy, we want to learn also how to tone and hug into who we are. Feel all the parts of your body that touch your floor, your feet, ankles, maybe your shins, how much of your leg line, your upper leg, and your glutes. Feel where your hands rest on your legs. And become really sensitive to the sensation of which parts of you are on the earth. And we're going to gather a little bit of strength with the breath by using it in a particular way. And so I want you to just feel into your breath and start to notice which phase of the breath feels more accessible to you. Is it your inhale or is it your exhale? Don't try to change it. Allow yourself to notice. And then notice what noticing did, how it actually anchored you in your body a little more. Now I'll use an example, and it might not be the example that's true for you, so you'll have to flip it in your experience and in your mind. But if your inhalation is the more accessible breath, then you'll leave it as it is, and then you'll take the exhalation and you'll pause when you feel like you've had enough exhalation, and then try to exhale again. So you're going to lengthen that phase of the breath that's a little less accessible by giving it 2 rounds of your attention. And then the inhalation would stay normal. And then the exhale would be 2 rounds of your attention. If you need to flip it, if the exhale is more accessible, then you take the inhalation 2 times relative to 1. exhalation. And you'll stick with that, whatever your formula is. And now let the breath go to a natural cadence where you're not participating. You're just observing again. And notice what happened, what shifted for you. And draw your hands to heart center. Gathering our awareness is a form of building strength. It just calls us in, and whatever is true, whatever's going on, we bring our attention to it, and then we can engage it in a unique way, or in this particular case, very unique way. So now we'll just make offering to the ability to harness your awareness, gather it, pull it inward, and then make offering through sound. Deep breath in, big breath out. Inhale. Ooh. Please release your hands, open your eyes, and I invite you to a mountain pose with a strap in hand. In your mountain pose, we'll take a particular stance. So the strap is just here for you to hold for now. A particular stance where the feet are sitting bone distance apart. And there's all kinds of ways to stand. You can stand with your feet closer together. You can stand with them much further apart. And right now we're going to gather some strength by just bone stacking and feel your body. So the most stable way to be in our body is to go with what we have, and that is to bring the heels and the ankles directly under the pelvis. So your two sits bones right at the base of your glute are as wide as your heels, and your femur bones are as wide as the front of your ankles. If you need to check that out, you can. And then I invite you to, once more, close your eyes from the top to the bottom. So you really drop into that sensation of grounding down into your body. Let the palms turn forward, even as you hold the strap in one hand. And now add in a little tiny ujjayi breath. So maybe a 3 or 4 count inhale and a 3 or 4 count exhale. Try to line up the top of your throat and your eyes right over your shoulders. With your palms forward, you can gently squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back. And we're going to just gather our awareness inward and notice there's a gentle sway. And as soon as you bring your awareness to that, as soon as you gather your attention to it, you'll notice it even more. And your body might be going in circles. It might be going left to right, or there might actually be a little X pattern. And notice what yours is. And bring your attention all the way to your feet. And then lift your toes up off the floor and notice what that did. And then keep the toes lifted and find center of your foot. So feel the ball mound rooting and the front edge of your heel. So if you bend your ankles a tiny bit, and still an eyes closed experience. So you're just gathering your attunement. Now, keeping the feet active like this, and keep the toes lifted, and really feel the ball mound of your big toe, the ball mound of your baby toe. And try to spread the toes from big toe to baby toe. Keep the actions of the feet strong and set your toes down on the ground, and notice what that does to your center of mass. And then let your body find center again. Keeping a slight, ever slight, so slight bend of the ankle and bend of the knee. And then we're going to draw awareness, literally draw it from big toe. See if you can spread the energy from big toe to your outer heel. So push from big toe, ball mound, not the toe itself, but the ball mound, to your outer heel. And notice that that brought a strength to your inner leg line. Now push more from the baby toe mound to the inner heel. You're not really moving your feet, but draw that line from baby toe to inner heel. And notice that firm the outer legs and the glutes. So now I'm going to have you bring awareness to your lower back and play with those two. We want to have them both. We literally want an X to draw through the feet from big toe to outer ankle. Play with that one. And you should feel like a strengthening on the inner thigh and also broadening in the pelvis and a little curve of the lower back. And when you pull more from baby toe to inner heel, it's going to pull the buttocks down, the flesh down a little bit, strengthen the back side of the buttocks and the outer hips, and then find the balance between the two. How does it feel like you're most grounded, stable, strong? Gather your strength by fine-tuning the dial of active feet, steady shins, thighs wide, and legs strong, tailbone active. Then from there, find that place where you're like, okay, there's the right X marks the spot for me. And then bring your awareness behind your eyes and softly crack the eyes open. That was a big, long meditation, huh? Now take your strap. Keep the legs active. So nothing's changed down below. You've gathered so much strength and we're going to hold it. Mountain pose has now become like a wickedly strong shape. Take your arms now over your head. And with the elbows bent, holding your strap, I'm going to put a little tug on that strap until you feel your shoulder blades get stronger. Shoulder blades squeeze in. So I also really want you to make sure that your feet, the baby toe side of your foot is parallel with the outer edge of your sticky mat. So there you go. Now, notice what happens to the strength in your legs when you moved your awareness upstairs to your chest. Then see if you can softly close your eyes. And just find how the little sway is even smaller because the upper body is strong. So we've gathered so much strength from the feet to the legs. Align the curve in the lower back with X marks the spot kind of alignment with the feet, which affects the legs and the hips. And then we've taken that way up high. So now slowly crack the eyes. And then as we release the arms, notice the body, take a deep sigh, and then soften the legs. That was a lot of power. And just now feel what you feel in your body. Like, what if that was the only pose you did and you got to move forward? What's happening in your energy system? Do you feel more alert, alive, in tune? So now we'll take hands to knees. You can let your strap go. Bending the knees. Find the X marks the spot in your feet here. So parallel up the feet. There you go. And then play with it here. When you pull more from big toe to outer ankle, you can literally look down now and watch how the feet move slightly. And then when you go more from baby toe to inner heel, you can watch how the heels turn in a little bit. So you want to squeeze your shins in, hands to the bottom of the shins, or right where your calves are thick, and squeeze the shins in. And then don't let the shins move, but make those actions in the legs so you're super strong. And you will feel that. If you're sensitive enough, you'll feel that, how it affects the curve from the sacrum up into the lower back. Good. Fold forward, touch the earth. Let your mind and your head take a little rest. Strengthen your legs and fold in. If you need blocks, support yourself with blocks. Place your hands. Step to plank. And then downward dog. So you can't touch your shins here because your hands are now fixed on the earth. Imagine you're pulling that strap apart. Push your hands down and gently pull the hands apart, and you'll feel your upper back get strong. Breathing your awareness and your eyes. Look back at your feet and keep your ankles and your shins fixed. Pull more of that energy from big toe to outer ankle. And now more from baby toe to inner ankle. From your heart, extend down through your arms. Inhale to your knees. Exhale, child's pose. Perfect. Come forward so that you're sitting with your feet in front of you. Broaden the inner thighs back and wide. Hands behind you. And then turn the fingers forward so that they're facing the same direction as your toes. You want your hands wider than your hips. Now push down through your heels and push the balls of your feet forward and spread your toes. So push through the big toe, ball mound. Now notice what that did to the curve in your back. Now we're going to push your heels more forward and pull your toes back. And notice what that did to the curve in your back. And then push the toes forward. How the inner thighs descended. And then lengthen the heels from the buttocks to the heel and notice what that did. And we'll just play with that a few more times. And then we'll actually bring your hands up and forward, interlace your hands. Let the arm line be soft, but let your carriage hold you, your shoulder blades. And now point and the ball mound forward. And notice what that does to the curve of the back and the leg line. And then push the heels and notice how that rocks you more down into your buttocks. And then pubic bone will flow more forward when you push the toes, the inner thighs stretch. And now reach through the heels. Can you feel how that rocks you fore and aft a little bit? So the feet, if we want to gather strength in our practice and move into transitions, we've got to get really familiar with the actions of our feet. So now we'll take that back up, all fours. Downward dog. Spread and lift your toes. Use that to stabilize the shin energy. When the baby toes lift, the outer shins get stronger. So gather your strength there. Then you can set the toes down. Push more through the ball mound of the big toe. And use that. Now push the balls of the feet down into the floor and lift the heels up until your calf muscles gather some strength and your hips rise. And this is going to lift your sit bones. Now, don't think of pushing the heels down towards the floor. Think of pushing them backwards towards the back of your sticky mat. So keep the calf muscles strong and lifted and press the heels towards the back of your sticky mat. And that should anchor you strongly through the legs. Inhale, right leg up. Shift your gaze forward. Step the right foot forward. Place the back knee on the floor. If you need to pat it, please do. Hands up. Hands to your front thigh. Now, press through the ball of your front foot until you feel your calf muscle pull and get stronger. And see how the knee lifted. Press the knee up into your hand by pushing down through the ball mound of your foot. Now maintain that even as you press your heel down. Do the same thing on the back foot. So you'll push through the ball of the foot and pull the knee forward. Maintain the strength in both legs. You've gathered it up. Now eyes on the floor. Instead of trying to push your heel to the floor on your back leg, you're going to push it to the back of your sticky mat as you root through the front legs. So that should help smooth out the transition of rooting down to rise up. So come on down. Find the strength of the ball of the foot on both feet. Push through the heels and the ball of the foot equally to lift the back knee. There you go. Now find the strength of balls of the feet and the heel to lift the arms. Active feet all the way down to the earth. Plank pose. Hands push down. Gently drag the hands apart. Lower to the belly. Active feet, even in cobra. And all the way up to dog. Take a deep breath. And just start by gathering strength from the feet to the shins. Rise high on the tippy toes by pressing through the balls of the feet until the calf muscles get very strong. You want to keep the top of the calf muscle very strong, especially when you reach the heels towards the back of the sticky mat. So keep pulling the calf muscles up. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. Placing right knee, hands to your thigh. And this is a transition point where a lot of people wobble. They lose their balance. So push through your feet, push through the balls of the feet, and from the glutes, push through your heels. Lifting the front heel. Find that strength in your calf muscle. Keep the calf muscle pulling up on both legs. The knees pressing up or forward for the back leg. And then from the glute, push down through the heel, push back through the back heel. Use that whole foot to lift the back knee. Better. And bring it down. Feel the ball of the front foot, the back foot, the glutes push through the heels. Now stretch up. It's slow moving, but it's strong. And active feet all the way with hands to the earth. Left foot meets right for plank. Rise high on the ball mounds of the feet in plank. Lift your heels vertically over the toes. Then take dog pose. Keep the heels up. Strong legs. Now, keeping the calf muscles strong and all the energy pulling from the legs up into the base of the heart. Push down through your hands. Pull the hands gently apart. Now, extend from the glutes. Reach your heels towards the back of your sticky mat, not down. And you'll notice how much that feels good. And pressing through the bottom of your left foot, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Push down through the ball. So now bend the back knee more. I'm going to keep it lifted, but not touching the floor. Bend it forward, push through the ball of the foot. You're not going to lift the front heel because we don't really do that in yoga, but make that calf muscle strong. Push on the gas pedal, and then anchor from glute to heel on both legs as you lift the left arm. And then stretch. When we take warrior two, push through the bottom end of the back foot and the front foot as you pivot. So you stay earthy. That Apanavayu holding you in transition. Now feel the X pattern from big toe to outer heel on both feet. That's called inner spiral. Now from baby toe to inner heel, and that'll cause the glutes to root. Reverse warrior. Maintain the strength of the legs as you transition warrior two to side angle. And reaffirm the strength of back big toe to outer ankle, back baby toe to inner ankle. Now really rotate on the ball mound of the foot and liberate that back heel as you transition. Square the hips, downward dog. Come high on the balls of the feet. Lifting the hips from the heart, press down through the hands, push the hands gently wide apart. Press more energy from big toe to outer heel on both feet. And now from baby toe to inner heel. And now stretch the heels towards the back of your mat as you reach through your arms. Inhale, left leg up as you push through the ball of the right foot. Shift the gaze forward, stepping left foot. Push down through the feet, find the balls of the feet first, and then the heels. Keep weight on both parts as you lift up. And you'll notice if you get wobbly in the transition, it's because one part of that front foot has unplugged. Usually it's the heel. Yeah. Reach up. When the arms open wide, pull up higher on the ball of the back foot. Pull that energy, gather it up into your core. And then as you pivot, then you push the heel towards the back of the mat to set it down, warrior two style. Pull from big toe to outer ankle. That'll help roll the femur bone in and wide. Pull from baby toe to inner ankle. And that'll make the legs very strong. Reverse warrior. Inhale, side angle, hold the strength of the legs as you transition. Eyes to the earth. And like you did before, you're gonna pull up the heel, lift the ball of the back, the heel, so you're on the ball of the back foot, and then turn it. Good job. And plank. Deep breath in. Long breath out. All the way to the belly. Use the strength of the feet and the inner thighs as you lift up. And then try to spread from big toe to baby toe as you squeeze those ankles together. Good job. Up and back. Have a seat. Actually, no, I want to do this one. I want to take, I want you to find a wall or a cabinet or something. And we're going to do this pose, but I want you to find your back foot against a wall. The edge of a couch will work fine. So look back and make sure that baby toe side of your foot is parallel. It's straight up and down. Press through the ball of the foot and find the mound of the big toe. And then without letting the whole leg turn in, pull from big toe to outer ankle till the inner thigh gets strong. Then pull from baby toe to inner ankle until the outer leg gets strong. So we've got opposite arm of the leg you put on the wall. Since I didn't instruct, you'll lift it up. Zip up your belly button. You want your back foot to be no higher than your hip. So bar lower your back foot a little bit. There you go, honey. Now set that hand down and switch legs. So you want your back heel to be no higher than your glute. Intuit that, sense it, feel it. Gather your strength, push into the ball mound of the lifted foot, and then press the heel to the wall. Now from big toe to outer ankle, and from baby toe to inner ankle. And you fine tune the dial and you keep the strength. And from there you can extend the opposite arm. Breathing into your core. And how strong do you feel from fingertips to toe tips? Lower that arm, lower that leg. Wherever your mat is, you can find your regular downward facing dog. Now remember what you just felt and gather the strength of that past moment and lift the right leg and find the same sensation. Squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline. Push more through the balls of both feet. And then hold the strength of the lower leg, the calf muscle, even as you stretch the heels towards the back of the mat by pressing down through your hands. Strength of big toe to outer ankle on both feet and baby toe to inner ankle. Lower right leg. Gather your strength with the breath so that you can do the second side. And then mindfully lift that leg. Active feet. Push through the balls of your feet and then lengthen through the hands and through your heels. Big toe to outer heel. Baby toe to inner heel. And a big reach. Inhale to your knees. Have a seat, feet out in front. Little seated cow and cat. Cow and cat. Mm-hmm. 2 ways to do Virabhadrasana. Most simple way is to keep the feet, knees bent, feet on the floor, hands behind you. Fingers can face mostly forward, but slightly outward. Pull your throat back so it lines up with your heart. Push through the balls of the feet by lifting your heels. And then firm the glutes and push the heels down into the sticky mat. Notice how that strengthens the legs. Now, as you lift the hips a little bit, push more through the balls of the feet to initiate, keeping the thighs down. Now push more through the ball of the foot and the heel as you stretch the knees and lift your hips. Pull your throat in alignment with your heart. Inhale, hips to the earth. And wrap your arms around your shins. Bow your mind to your heart to your body. Deep breath in, big breath out. I realized that we sort of did the description of this class today, but I'm a completely different person than I was a month ago. So walk your hands back. Start by pulling the toes back and then push through your heels. And just come back into now. You want to exaggerate the curve of the lumbar spine. So push the toe balls forward. And then find the balance by pressing from hip to heel so you don't fully flex or fully point. And on a star, we call it flointed. Now, use the balls of the feet pressing forward to lift the hips. Top of the throat lines up with your heart. And as you come down, press through the heels. Lift up through the heart. Pull the legs in. Hold your feet, your ankles. Bow forward. Press from ball mound of foot into baby toe side of foot. And then press from glute to heel and fold forward a little more. Deep breaths. Inhale, lift up. Take that right leg and keep it on bottom, left leg on top. The foot that's on top, you want to find more of the ball mount of that foot first. So lift your heel. The foot that's on bottom, you actually want to push through that heel. And so that makes the hinge joint of the knees more stable. And then anchor the left hip forward and down. And as you do that, you'll push that lifted heel from the glute to the heel to the floor. Left hand behind, right arm up. So now the legs are super strong. We've gathered so much strength. We're going to turn into it, elbow to knee. Now really push from hip to heel and sit up taller as you twist right to left. And really reach through your right heel. Inhale, square. Press the feet in opposite direction as you fold. You can do that action too. Press your feet in opposite. You're like the flight attendant. There's exits on both sides of the aisle. which one do you need? Do you need more action on the balls of the feet pushing, or the heels? Because it will affect the curve of your lower back. And if you need more lumbar curve, you feel like you need to pull the lumbar curve anteriorly. Notice what happens if you push through the balls of the feet. If you need more space up where the hip flexors are, then you'll push more through the heels because that will ground the buttocks. Inhale, sit up tall. Unwind your legs. Left leg on bottom. We always need strength first, so spread the toes, muscular energy, gather it in, settle down, push more through the ball of the, especially the leg on front. And as you anchor the right hip, really push through that bottom heel. Right hand behind, left arm up. And then exhale. Reaffirm the strength of the legs and then sit up taller. Now, as you twist, keep that right hip pushing down all the way through the heel of the lifted leg. Inhale, unwind. Push the feet in opposite direction as you fold forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Unwind your legs. Wind your backs. Hold your knees and circle the knees around. And try to find all the angles of your sacrum. And then go the other direction for you. Now let the knees go as wide as you want and rock it side to side. Place your feet on the mat. And let your body rest. Knees bent. And tune into, with no ujjayi breath, so let go of ujjayi and just notice which phase of the breath is longer. So listen and feel. Are they more even than when you started? Now try to let your exhales release more of the back body into the ground. Release the backs of your hands to the floor, and then one leg at a time, stretch out into Shavasana. And let the deep sigh happen, let it out. And so much awareness happened with the leg energy today, even while we held strength in the upper body. So just let that energy now settle. Let your strength hold you as you surrender to your inner resource. Now, this is one of the big transitions. It's like the transition from waking to from sleep to wake, and from asana practice to back into contemplative practice, and then back into daily life practice. So gather your strength in the form of soft but aware Ujjayi breath. And build the energy inside. Wiggle fingers and toes as you breathe. Make some sounds if you like. And then have you flex and point your feet and just feel the energy all the way, how that affects the fluctuations, moving all the way up through your neck and your shoulders. And then soften one more time. Let go of all movement. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Please bend your right leg and then your left, and settle into your back body again. And then please extend your right arm along your ear. Push your hips to the left and roll to the right. And gather your awareness, gather your strength, and root down into it to come on up. Nice, cozy seat. And the same pose that began your practice. Settle into it, refine it, and let it hold you here. Notice which parts touch the earth. Notice your breath. And notice where your hands rest. Line up your eyes so they're right over your shoulders. And draw your hands to your heart. Come into the felt presence of right hand meeting left, left hand holding right. Deep breath in. Big aware breath out. Open to inhale. Namaste. Thank you. Well, if you are a true yoga alignment geek, this practice really spoke to you. I love you.